Hello. Thank you, my friends Ashish.
Hi. Yeah.
Thank you for accepting our invitation, for joining over this webinar to share your thoughts and views for you joined the company that FabHotels as a B2B
Hmm.
Sales Executive.
Yes.
So before starting to the main point, I'll start to a little bit introduction about the FabHotels. The FabHotels was founded in 2014 by Mr.
Yeah.
Vaibhav Agarwal, who is an
Correct.
ex-IT,
Hmm.
and it is in the new budget hotel segment, and the headquarters
Yeah.
is located as at Gurugram.
Yeah.
They are total having 50. They are penetrated in the total 50 cities, having the total 600 plus hotel chains in this few year, and total they are provided 10K rooms and 2 million happy
Hmm.
families they have served. So it's a too much a big achievement for this perspective. And you also work with
Yeah.
this kind of hotel industry chain to know what is the corporate exposure over there, how you can getting the facing a
Yeah.
challenge. So I'm requesting you to share your views and thoughts with respect to my question, by which the aspirants, Mr. Job Seeker, are getting motivated from your voice and
Hmm.
also join to this type of industry. So let's begin.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
my
Let's
first
begin here.
question. Oh, thank you. My first question is that how you prepare yourself to join to taking an interview, and after this interview you have to getting crack those interview. How you prepare yourself?
Yeah. See, the first of all, the thing is, when I got the JD of the particular company, I realized that this particular profile that has been offered to us was a core corporate, like corporate lean profile. So obviously, the thing that I just kept in my mind is nothing but the grooming that I have to go first. Then comes the way I speak, because my body language, my attire, these are actually very much helpful because of this particular post I'm saying. So since it's all about the corporates, I have to be very much clear on my thoughts and the way I can like elaborate myself or my content to the other person who is in front of me. So basically, the way I prepared about the company is I did a basic research of the company, a background study of the company. I gone through the milestones that the company has achieved or any such failure. Also, I have gone through each and every detail of the company in a good and well way. Then somewhere around I took these suggestions of the online platforms also, from where I got to know some of the good thought process that Fab actually believe in their system. So I have focused on those so that I can amalgamate myself into that way before going to the interview. In this way, I started my basic preparation for this interview, and then I went for the interview eventually.
Oh, that's a great thought. Okay. My second question is, have you prepared your resume or CV with respect to the JD? Means that will be more compatible or attached, and the hiring person will getting the attention at the first sight.
Yeah, so a small tip of not suggestion or advice, but yeah, a small tip of remembrance or a point which every aspirant or any kind of any student or anyone who is going for an interview should keep in mind. Whenever we are applying for any such position, our resume should be very much flexible for us, because if since I have appeared for the corporate sales, I was into the corporate world. In because of that only, I tried to reconstruct my resume in such a way which is bit leans toward the corporate world or corporate culture. But yes, the point that I have kept in my mind and everybody should keep in their mind, that is, never lie in your resume, which I have not done. Yes, I am having some experience of field sales, but since I am going into corporate world or in corporate culture, obviously in that particular aspect, field sales will not crack anything. But if I can explain to the interviewer that yeah, I have worked in the corporate culture, that will somewhere be a good point for me. So you have to first choose the relevant point that you need to mention in your CV based on the position or the particular designation you are going to join or you are going for the interview. Accordingly, I try to highlight the best in the best possible way how I can convey to the HR or the one who is taking my interview, that how I am well drive into this corporate world already. But yes, I have not lied a single word in my resume, because it's the biggest mistake everybody do so, just to make a fake image in front of the person who is taking the interview. So in this way, I prepared my resume.
Okay, that's great. Okay, my third question is, what is the round over there? Means aptitude, JD. What is the main curriculum round that aptitude, JD? Is there any particular which is uniqueness
Okay.
that shown?
The thing is, it depends. The aptitude round basically depends upon the number of students who had applied for the same purpose. So basically, aptitude is nothing but a biggest screening round, right? So aptitude is a very common round which happens to each and every company. Now, coming to the main round that I faced, the two round of interviews were done. That is, one was GD, and GD was in quite a good topic and was not that hard also. But yes, the learning was quite well. So the GD was a very big point of concern for each and every one, because the GD itself was taken by the VP. I'm sorry, the sales head of the Eastern Zone, right?
Oh, then
So the
it
sales
was a
head took the,
too much tough and too
yeah,
much
yeah,
competitive.
exactly, because the person who was taking our GD, when he first introduced himself, then we were quite like, oh my god, so this is someone who is actually sitting in front of us, who is a big, like he's holding some big responsibilities over him. So might be, obviously that particular person got a tremendous talent in him. So accordingly, there was a round called JD. So we passed the JD out. Then after JD, few were shortlisted for the final interview, which were taken by the VP of the company. Okay, now, so basically, I would like to say one thing. If you are joining Fab Hotels, you have to be very sure that the person who is taking your interview, he or she is not just an employee of the company, but he or she holds a very good position in the company. So you have to be very much well aware that to whom you are speaking, and you have to be very much well aware where you are speaking and what you should speak around, right? So there was a PI. There was a last round that was PI taken by the VP, Ms. Jigyasha. So she took our interview, and the main thing is, there is no strict pattern of interview. We know there are many type of patterns of interview, and there are like candidates were going one on one on one on one. Whenever we were taking the feedback, that pattern of interview was changing. Some were facing stress, some were facing normal, some were facing panel. So this kind of interview going on. And to be very lucky, I faced the stress interview, right? So I was into the stress interview. So this was the interview that was taken, and eventually I cracked the interview, and luckily I got selected for the job.
Oh, that's great. My next question, if you can
Yeah,
remember that, what is the GD topic of your group?
yeah. I can clearly remember this because the GD topic was, it seems to be very easy, but it was very complex, because I know the data that were flowing on that day, that made that GD topic very complex, though it was very easy. And the topic was smartphone, a boon or a curse to the
Okay.
society. So this was the GD topic.
I think there are having so many groups in the JD. So
Mm.
those topics are only based on this type of technological topic, or they are having any abstract topic like zero, point, ping, or
Yeah,
any other
yeah,
current
yeah,
situation
yeah.
topic.
See, again the GD topic was also very flexible, just like the PI, because I got this particular topic, or my group of panel got the particular topic. But yes, there was a group who got some abstract topic like the silver lining. There was a topic of called the silver lining, so they got a topic like this also. So you cannot assure yourself that you will be getting just a topic which is very much well known or well aware. I was bit lucky, but yes, if you're getting an easy topic, it's quite, the parameter of judging is also quite tough. Now, if you're getting a tough topic, parameter of judging is quite easy. So eventually, I got the tough topic. I got the easy topic, but the parameter of judgment was quite tough.
Okay. So they diversified all the topics in each and every
Yeah,
group.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So don't
But
depend
the
on
main thing
only.
is, no. The main thing is they will grill you well. They will grill you well.
Okay. That's great. And the next question is more
Yeah.
strategical one. How you set your
Okay.
strategy for the GT round? Either it will be for because everyone as a parent want to start the GT topic, because if they start the
Yeah.
GT topic, then he will be a leader, or they end.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
few number of students of
Mm,
aspirants. They're coming in the
mm,
middle of this GT point. So what you would
mm.
set your strategy for the GT round?
Okay. So see, according to me, the strategy that I took on that day particularly, and I believe Like if you are speaking more in GD, that it doesn't mean that you are having the highest chance of selection. But if you are proving an impression in the GD, that makes you the one to get selected. It's all about the impression how you make, and it depends upon you how you make. See, there were many such people who were speaking so lot of things, but I spoke hardly 2 to 3 points. I didn't even initiate, but I just spoke 2 to 3 points, and I know those points might not be the exact point that I should speak, but yes, somewhere around I spoke such a point which made a impression of mine to that particular person who were taking the GD. So that impression thing is the main thing in a GD, what I believe. Obviously, initiation got a very good start. Like if you initiate the GD, you will get a plus point. If you sum up the GD, you will get again a plus point. But I didn't did those. I tried to make the impression about saying few words only. My performance always is based on crux. I believe in
Okay.
crux, these words, and I always try to focus on this word of crux. So I put the crux into this particular GD and I created this impression.
Okay. So rather than illustrating much more things on any of point, you are concentrating
Hmm.
yourself on a point basis, in point
Exactly,
basis.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. You can build up your impression within few pillar of points.
Okay.
That should be strong enough.
Okay. My second question is that
Yeah.
how many are there in the GD round, and out of which, suppose if there are any 10 people, so out of which how many people are getting shortlisted for the next round?
Okay. So like I can be very specific about my particular panel because I was not well aware about the other panel or how many got selected. In my panel there were nearby nine, I guess 9 or 10 people were there, and out of
Okay.
which three got shortlisted. Right. So
Oh,
the ratio is like 10:3.
different ratio.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
So
just too much tough.
it's yeah, it's tough, but yes, you know what? Somewhere around, it's not that much that you cannot achieve. But yeah, we need to be well prepared for those kind of things. That's it.
Because the top authority have grilled you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying you. I'm repeatedly saying you. If anybody is taking a interview of from FabHotels, they are just not a simple employee of FabHotels. They are having such a some of the thing in them. That's why they are eligible to take the interviews.
Okay. So aspirant, please take on the look onto this point. So
Mm.
my next question, coming to the next step, that is the personal interview round. So
Yeah.
the question was like, introduce yourself or saying something which is not written in your CV, or such a kind of is say something which is not mentioned in the CV. What is the questions over there? First question over there.
See, there were so many questions to other aspirants, like the few questions you mentioned, right? Because these are all kind of these questions are very much common in an interview. But the question that I was asked and was welcomed on that particular room was, "How may I help you?" This was the question. Because I was in a stress interview. Yeah, because I was in a stress interview. Ma'am asked me in the first glance itself. Just I knocked the door. I just said, "Ma'am, I come in." She replied, "How may I help you?" This was her first question from her behalf. So, question, yeah, you should feel lucky if you are getting all those orthodox kind of questions that are generally asked in a interview. But yes, you have to be well backed up and ready for this kind of questions also, because it all depends upon the particular person who is taking interview and what is there in his or her mind. So all of a sudden she asked me, "How may I help you?" So this was the question that I was in asked. Then I was a bit choosy about the location. So she asked me about the preference of location, and she needed a well justified answer for that. Why so? Why I was specified to certain locations. So that was also her point of concern, or she asked me out. And yeah, then she focused on the internship that I have done, because my CV, so called the Kacha Chitta, was in her hand. So obviously, she knows what I am or what I have been through in my past days. So she asked me about my internships also. Eventually, I elaborated, demonstrated all the things that I have came across in the interview. Internship. But yes, I tried to put highlights on those points which I haven't mentioned in the CV, because there are certain things that you have done but you cannot mention in the CV, because then the CV will become a book. So I have put impression of my internship by saying those points which I have not mentioned in the CV. Because if you are again saying those points that you have already mentioned in the CV, that means you are doing nothing but a replay. You are just dictating your CV, which I don't do, which I didn't did that. So because of which because I didn't just dictate my CV, I got a chance to communicate more with the interviewer. So I was well engaged in a good communication with the interview. So this was the PI, the crux of the PI.
Okay. If I'm not getting wrong, that Ashish, the first question was, how may I help you? I've given almost
Yeah, the first
100,
question was how may I help you?
near to 100 plus interview. So this is
Yeah.
the first question I've heard in the first time. That how my
Yeah.
what was your answer?
See, obviously, each and every aspirant or each and every person who is going for the interview, whenever they are reading the JD, they had a question in their mind. Anything or whatever they might be, whatever it might be, there might be some kind of confusion in the back head. So there was nothing in my answer. So I directly said, you can help me by clearing few of my doubts that I have, um, like collected from the JD. Then she got interested on my way of communication, the way I replied promptly, and she said me to have mercy. In this way, we started talking with each other. So it was like how may I help you? When she said, then I realized that yeah, this might be the best time where I can clear my doubts, where I can clear my doubts
Yeah,
because this is
yeah,
the one-to-one
obviously.
interaction. See, you cannot clear your doubts in a GD room because with you, there is 10 other people. But in a PI round, you can clear your doubt because with you there are only one or two people who are taking your interview. So I realized I took that particular question as an opportunity and prompted back with my question again that you can clear my doubts. That will help me a lot. So this was my answer to the question.
Choose a great way to throw the ball from your coach to another one.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah, yeah.
great
That
thing.
is the only funda.
The next question is that have they asked any type of subject matter question means from the theoretical aspects means marketing or sales or any kind of B2B
Uh,
questions means subjective.
yeah, like they didn't ask that much of relevant academic questions, but yeah, there was a question where I was asked, see, like to um, demonstrate or to say or to do a sales pitching in front of her. So this
Okay.
was the main concern, I guess, because since it was all about the sales, now when you are into a sales, you don't need much of these definitions and theories because you are not sitting within a chair and working. So you
So
have to interact with people for sales.
just
So
like this,
they,
that how can you sell a room nights to a travel agent or other
yeah,
organization? That's
exactly.
that
Yeah,
kind
or
of
else,
question.
yeah, exactly. She asked me like, how can you onboard a client into our
Okay.
company? This was the question, basic question. So in this way, these were the type of question. Yeah, I will say the interview patterns nowadays are no more theoretical in this kind of profile because they need practical people for the practical field work. So they always try to focus on those questions in which they can understand your approach to the practical
Okay.
situation. So they asked in that way. They didn't
So
ask
they
any
more
theoretical
focused
aspect.
on the practical things rather than the
Hmm.
theoretical one.
Yeah, exactly.
So so aspirant, please prepare on basis on these points. My second question is more on the personal aspects. Because as
Hmm.
well as every company has asked that why you choose our company to join over here? Why the what the things have impressed you more for doing so?
See, first of all, somewhere around, I felt since it's a startup and it's a good initiative. I felt like the way you or the thing that are being delivered to the aspirants and the way the academic things that you are updating regularly. I will not say you and your team basically. The way you are updating day by day, I follow those. Somewhere around it tracked me well. I realized that people who are from the very basic scratch, who don't, let's consider the person, like let's consider me that I don't know anything. I can say that if I don't know anything, if I follow you, I can know many things. So
Yeah.
this somewhere around inspired me. This somewhere around inspired me about your initiative, about the about your approach. That's why I will fully join your company, or I will fully join you.
Okay. Great answer. And the final
Yeah,
thing, I know you are
yeah.
getting me means too
No,
much
no, no,
bored
no.
for
It's
this
okay.
thing.
It's okay.
So the final thing is that what are, as of now for the 15 to 20 minutes of talk, the aspirant have got so many points that what are the things that you need to mention on which basis they will prepare for giving the interview for this particular job. And the final
Yeah.
things, please mention some 3 points on which basis the aspirant will prepare themselves? What is your advice to them? Just mention 3 points.
Okay. See, if you consider my particular job role, I will just say three things. That is creativity, attitude, and confidence. These are the three key things that can take you across.
Great, Ashish. Nice to talk to you, and thank you
Yeah.
very much
Same, same here, same here.
for inviting our for granting our invitation and join
Yeah.
here for sharing your thoughts and interview experiences to all of the aspirants who are going to be tested. Some of the having the dreams to join to our those company like FabHotels.
Yeah. Hmm.
So thank you again very much from on behalf of the Innovative Tech.
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine.
Yeah. In future,
Yeah.
if they are having any need, so I'll definitely
Sure,
contact
sure,
you.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
as parent, you can also contact with him one to one. I will mention that his details, mail ID and LinkedIn ID in the description box. Please feel free to contact with him. He will guide.
Yeah,
Thank you.
obviously, I'm obviously ready for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.